Hello guys, and welcome back to the Long Dark. And in the last episode we finally acquired the heavy hammer, and we also found a distress pistol we can use against wolf or anything that might attack. Found all that in the ravine basin. That place is actually better than I would have expected in Interloper. That's the first time I've been down there in an Interloper run, to my knowledge. So I've got a lot of stuff here that needs to be cured eventually. But let's go outside and see what the weather's like. Really early morning here, technically still darkness according to that. And it feels like minus 12F. That's about an average Interloper morning that you're going to see, I think. Although the wind is really dead, so that is very cold, in fact. So we can make our way down this trail. One of the places I like to drop off fresh guts and stuff for curing is at the little like log sort place down here, it's kind of in the center of Coastal Highway. Always enjoy the sunrises in this game. I think they did a pretty good job with the graphics. See a trailer down there? I don't know that I'm going to visit that right now. I may have already visited that actually, coming here the first time. So let's kind of scoot down this hill. Sometimes I wish there was a shorter route to get back down to the road from the entrance point of this map. It's a pretty good walk most of the time, but usually not that dangerous unless it's cold like it is now. And I didn't notice, I'm either freezing now or I'm on the verge of freezing. Yeah, I just now hit freezing. 80% condition, so I'm not worried about that. We're going to be preparing in this episode to go to Desolation Point. So I'm going to be stocking up on some food and drink. And just some, probably some scrap metal as well. Just the basic things I need to get over there and get back. But the Riken itself will provide a lot of the scrap metal you need if you want to just cut it down there. So I'm sure I'll collect some of it there. Yeah, and then after this episode and the next one, we'll be actually getting to the forge. Do a little cliff jumping here and get down to the road. As long as you're cautious with the cliff jumping, it's not really that dangerous. Just a reminder, we are still in .393 version of the game, which is a Resolute Outfitter, so this is a little bit of an older version, but I wanted to complete this run because I thought it was a pretty good run. And, you know, I made it past 20 days, so figured it could help out some of you guys that are struggling with Interloper. I know I struggled with it for a long time. I think it took me a long time to even consistently make it to day 10. And sometimes now even I don't make it that far. I die in the first couple of days because I can't find matches or, you know, some bad spawn location or what have you. Desolation Point is my least favorite spawn in Interloper. And Forlorn Muskeg is probably a close second. I prefer actually to spawn in Timberwolf Mountain. I think I mentioned it earlier, there's a huge amount of calories you can get right off the bat in that region by picking cattails around Crystal Lake by the Mountaineer's Hut. Crucial if you're going to spawn there, you have to know how to get to the Mountaineer's Hut, so that's one thing you maybe need to practice is all the different spawn locations and routing your way to the Mountaineer's Hut from them. Really nice effect from the sunrise over there above the mountains. This game produces a lot of good screenshots. Or screenshot opportunities, maybe I should say. It doesn't produce screenshots by itself. Okay, let's jump in here and I will deposit some of these guts and hides and check on what I've got already here. We got a lot of cured stuff here. 2 cured deer hides and 4 cured gut. So that's really good start. We're gonna drop all the rest of this stuff. And I see that I've only got 7 scrap metal, so we're gonna need to collect more of that at some point, either at the Ryken or before we go. So I want to get that up probably over 20 scrap metal, so that I can just craft a makeshift knife and hatchet, and then still have plenty left for, you know, at least a dozen arrowheads. I need crafting a bandage here. I can make this. I don't know that I have many of these. And it's pretty critical to have these. But they did nerf the old man beard wound dressing in the new version. They made it to where it only affects infection risk. But it only takes, I believe it doesn't take a bandage as an ingredient to make it now, so it's kind of a flip double-sided coin on that one. I haven't actually messed with the new version that much yet. I'm wanting to focus on getting this done. And then I will immediately start an Interloper run in that, as well as probably one day a week I'm going to do a challenge of some sort. And then I'll most likely be on the weekend. And I would live stream that if I'm not sure how many people would be watching though. Just taking some time to repair my clothing here. I actually had 1% on that sewing kit. I don't even know how that happens. It starts at 100 and it takes off 5 each time, so how does it get to 1%? We're on day 10, and our mending skill, I'm just checking the mending skill is about 60% of the way up, it looks like. I want to get that mending skill up to level 2 before you make any kind of makeshift clothing out of the rabbit skins or the deer skins, because you do not want to sacrifice any of those by failing a repair. And 1 level on it will bump it up 15% success chance, so you'll get 85% instead of 70, which is nice. In my experience, 85% pretty rarely fails. But it seems like 70% chance fails like 50% of the time to me. I know that's probably inaccurate, but you know, you tend to have that bias when it's in something negative. Let's head down this road toward the town side here. Now we got a little bit of snow falling, so I'm gonna start getting wet. But it's not cold now. It's warmed up a lot, 24 degrees. And repairing my clothing helped that also. So one of the major things the developers are struggling with in this game is getting the lighting right. And someone commented that was related to the Unity, to it being developed in Unity. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't have enough experience with Unity to give an answer on that one, but it would make sense. Let's go under this down tree right here, and we will come out and see if there's any wolves in our way. At least I can buzz them with the flare gun if they get too close. So I'm just going to check this car to be sure I've looked at it. Yeah, I have looked at that car before. Which isn't too surprising since I've come this way a couple of times already. But a lot of times I forget exactly which cars I've checked and which ones I haven't because they look pretty much the same. If it's a truck, it's easier to remember. So temperature wise, we're doing really well. This would be a pretty good day for us to travel. And I will do that after stopping off at the Quonset. Let's pull out this flare gun in case anything runs out at us. Hopefully I've already got a shell loaded in. I didn't check that. Okay, wind is picking up a bit. So weather change may be happening here. Let's get up on this hill and see if any wolves are around. Not that I see. It looks clear. So hopefully that's the case. Wolves like to hide behind these hills since the terrain's really messed up over here and uneven. I find this to be one of the more difficult spots in the game in terms of getting attacked by a wolf. But I think we're safe. I think I'm going to make it into the hood here. Wolves got to be out on the ice roaming around. Go ahead and eat this venison. I don't want it to decay any more than it already is. We got a few cured birch saplings here. That'll be good for arrow shafts, more specifically. Let's see what I want to craft here. Could craft some snares. Start catching rabbits. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do that. Got a lot of daylight left. We'll just craft a few snares here and we'll be able to set them over on Jackrabbit Island before we leave for Desolation Point if we want to. Also using one of the scrap metal pieces to make hooks. So we'll have a way to get started with the ice fishing. And then crafting 4 lines using 2 of the guts for the lines. It's a good way to start. Now we're just going to combine them and craft the tackles. But I find if I start on this with 4 fishing tackles, I generally don't run out. As long as I read one of the books before I start ice fishing. Okay, we don't really have guts left now. We can craft arrow shafts, but that takes quite a lot of time, and I'm not going to spend any more today on that. It's getting kind of late. Go ahead and take care of my thirst here, and I'm going to eat these crackers before they go any lower condition. And this is definitely not safe, so we'll drop it 25%. It's never safe. Let's see. I think we're going to work on fire starting for the rest of the day here. Okay, so that book will be easy to finish in the morning. And let's eat and drink and we'll sleep here. And then drink the cup of herbal tea just to boost my condition more. Don't know that I need it that badly. Well, yeah, I am at 63%. I was a little lower than I thought. So I should get close to 100% after I wake up from this. Well, probably more like 90 with 8 hours. Yeah, 91. If I'd gone 10 hours, it'd be close to 100. You have to pass through some of the rest of the darkness here. Let's eat this candy bar. Don't want it to decay. And I've got 62 of the cattail stalks, so I'm well stocked on terms of calories, really. Not likely to need that much going forward into the forge. And we'll finish up our book here. Only 1 hour to go. And this should get us level 2 fire starting. Yep. Fire starting novice now, guys. And level 3 is where you really want to get, so you don't have to use tinder at all. And I forget what level 5 does for you. I think you can't fail a fire at level 5 or something. It's really hard to fail. We're not going to craft those, and we're going to drop these other crafting materials to lighten the load some. Weighing about 92 pounds. It's a bit heavy. Although it's not impossible to travel like that. If you get over 100 pounds, it becomes pretty difficult. So yeah, we can travel with what we have now. We check at the weather, it's foggy, but looks pretty decent other than that. It's 2 degrees, feels like 2. I collect some more sticks. I want to have plenty of wood when I light the forge and the Riken later, or if I just need a fire on the way to warm up. It's always good to have a ton of sticks on you. Alright, I think I've pretty much cleared the area of sticks now. Probably got around 30 of them. Now here's one here. Yep. That looks pretty clear now. So there's still no wolves in the area. That's some good news. I'm getting cold pretty fast, so I'm thinking about spending some more time inside right now. May not be the best time to start the travels. So we'll break down this metal shelf and start building up more of the scrap. Drink so that I'm not dehydrated. Break this one down as well. I'm going to start a fire here to get some more water. Chuck a bunch of these sticks on there. Get a melt. Probably the max here, yeah. 1.32. And drink here, and that's about it for this episode, guys. Thanks for watching, and give me a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.